Hey guys, welcome to Unlimited Health. Let's check out this video called It's a New Series by Extra History, okay? Another series from them, and this thing has a lot of views on every single video out here, so it's basically like almost like a continuation of the Belisarius series, okay? Because this is called Byzantine Empire, Justinian and Theodora, from Swineherd to Emperor, Extra History Part 1. Okay, that's a long ass title. This series is very old. It was made 8 years ago, continuing for 7 years and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just watch it. And I just wanted to know what Justinian and Theodora was his wife were like, and because Procopius wrote a secret history book in which he just destroyed the reputations, or described these two as one of the worst people ever or something. His wife is a big ass whore or something like that. It's all fucked up, okay? Justinian is a selfish, greedy, or money greedy. These both were money and greedy people or something like that, and corrupt or something like that. So that's just a secret history and should not be taken that seriously. But Justinian's behavior throughout the Belisarius series, how he would treat Belisarius and stuff like that, really rubbed me off. It made me think like Justinian is one of the worst people ever because he's like very selfish, doesn't give a fuck about who works under him and stuff like that. So that's how his behavior was, at least to me, was portrayed in those Epic History TV videos, okay, that series, okay? But let's just watch this new series and find out what Justinian and Theodora are like and what did they do. Let's just find out. Okay, Byzantine Empire, Justinian and Theodora, from Swineherd to Emperor, Extra History Part 1. Let's get into it. It's only 8 minutes long. It's very short, so let's just get into it, okay? 3, 2, 1, let's go. And also, like, I just did a reaction on American presidents on Epic History TV. And that video might really piss you off. And that reaction came up like 1.5 hours, man. And my voice is all raspy because of that. So, I don't know. I'm sorry if that reaction pisses you off. I'm very critical of the Western society. I might be critical of the Western society even in this series, okay? So I'm sorry, okay? But let's just get into this. 8 minutes long. It's going to be fun. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's go. Dang. Already? There's no 1080p, is there? Old series. What can you expect? Well, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
The West has fallen. Britannia was abandoned centuries ago.
Huh.
Gaul is overrun by the Franks. Hispania is a Visigothic province now, and North Africa has fallen to the Vandals. Worst of all, Italy, and thus Rome itself, has become an Ostrogothic kingdom. Only the East still stands. But even in the East, Huns and Bulgars press in on the north, and in the south, war rages with the mighty Sassanid Empire. Not even Anatolia, the heart of the empire, home of Constantinople herself, is safe. And yet today, all around us, we see the legacy of Eastern Rome. In the heart of Istanbul stands the Hagia Sophia. Its great domes housed the largest cathedral in the world for 1,000 years. And even now, 1,500 years after its construction, it stands as a wonder for us all. Every day in courtrooms half the world over, decisions are made rooted in the legal framework laid out in the Corpus Juris Civilis. And in the apse of the Basilica in San Vitale, if you look up, you will see the most renowned emperor of the East looking down on you from a mosaic nearly 1,500 years old.
Is that
and these
Justinian?
things that are left to us are almost all the work of one man, one emperor, Justinian.
Yeah.
He was perhaps the greatest emperor of the Byzantines. And
He even contributed to some of the, contributed a little bit into the Crusades, and the way he built walls of this one fort. They were like super high and tall and really tough and shit. They couldn't get in and stuff like that. The Crusaders, okay? So that was really cool to see him in that series, which is crazy, okay? But he is a very insane king, I guess. Great ruler. Was he a good man though? I don't know. Even Procopius is like but that's his secret history book. So it could be wrong. So whatever. Let's go.
Last of them to dream. To dream of a restored Rome. To dream of a unified Christian church. To dream in marble and gold and steel. Never again would the Roman Empire see the heights it saw under this one man. And never again would anyone come so close to bringing the West back into the light of Rome. But Justinian's legacy is mixed. Unlike those heroic emperors who kept Rome and then Byzantium from being forever extinguished when complete collapse looked inevitable, Justinian took an empire that was beset on all sides but still strong and raised it to magnificence. But in doing
so, he is a very effective, almost like a legend, and probably a legend, even bigger than a legend, right? But when I saw the Belisarius series, his behavior was really like a villainous behavior, very evil-like. I don't know. Maybe he's, by the books guy that doesn't give a fuck about anybody and gets things done no matter what, and doesn't care if somebody loses their life over him. He just wants to get things done, and it's almost like a checklist of things that he follows. I don't know. Maybe he's like emotionless. I don't know. But let's see.
So he may have gambled too many of its resources, expended too much of its strength on a dream. Justinian is one of my favorite Roman emperors because he had the boldness to dream in a way that no one else did. And he had the energy, the drive, and the capacity to back up those dreams. He was intelligent, wise, diligent beyond measure, working tirelessly for his people, but his reign was not without blood, not without miscalculation.
This series is making him out to be like a total legend, man. That's like, wow. So I'm glad I'm watching this because I'm getting to see the other side, his true side. How is he like, and what is his personality, which is so cool to see. I want to see more of this, so I'm glad I'm here watching this. So
and not without human failings and distrust. And so for the next few weeks, we'll dive into the reign of this most spectacular emperor and his renowned empress, Theodora. But before we can get to Justinian and Theodora, we have to talk about Justin, the uncle to Justinian, without whom Justinian may never have been. Because before Justinian was an emperor, he was a peasant. And before he was Justinian, he was Flavius Petrus Sabatius. He changed his name to honor his uncle and benefactor, Justin. Justin's one of those wild American dream sort of stories. He himself began as a peasant farmer in a remote western corner of the empire. He spoke Latin in a world that had become almost entirely Greek and owned nothing but the clothes on his back. But despite all this, he made his way to that monumental city, the heart of the empire, Byzantium, and sought his fortune. He joined the army and was assigned to the palace guard. He quickly rose through the ranks, and as he did so, he brought his family to join him. Having no children of his own, he doted on his nephew, young Flavius Petrus Sabatius. And while he, Justin, was an illiterate farmer, he was determined to give his young nephew Sabatius the finest education in law, theology, and rhetoric. He also...
This dude is a almighty legend. Holy shit, this dude is like God. If God were to be born as a human being, he would not face any troubles. And he would always win. He would be the most wisest without any... Even though he was illiterate, he's like super educated and stuff like that. This dude is like that, bro. Holy shit. This dude is like the God in human form. He is destined to be a legend. That's how, his character is. But in the Belisarius series, he looked and sounded... The way the narrator was describing Justinian to me was like... This dude is a selfish piece of shit. That's the impression I had. Holy shit, I didn't know that he was such a legend. Man, let's see what else he did.
So made sure to get Sabatius appointed to the royal guard, and in gratitude, Sabatius took on the name Justinianus, or as we call him, Justinian. Then Justin, and by extension Justinian's big break came. When the Emperor Anastasius, the emperor who Justin served, died, he left the throne without an heir, and a succession crisis began. Justin, at this point being the head of the executors, or the Imperial Guard, and thus the only guy with troops in the capital city, was going to be essential to deciding who the next emperor would be. So one of the imperial officials tried to bribe Justin in order to get him to support their favored candidate. But Justin, probably at the suggestion of Justinian, promptly took the bribe and used it to bribe influential senators to support him instead. As he had the only troops in town and the support of the Senate, Justin was raised to the imperial purple. But Justin had no education. He only had experience as a soldier and a swineherd, and he realized he would need help running the empire. Doubly so because he was seen by many as less legitimate than the nephews of the previous emperor, who were still alive. And for this help, he turned to Justinian. Justinian
and his nephews, but I've seen him like in the other series. They portrayed him. They actually told us that Justinian killed one of his own nephews because he was almost getting popular among the public and becoming the next king and about to throw him out of his throne and stuff like that. And it's like that's why he killed his own nephew or something like that. It's crazy, man. And that's why I thought like Justinian must be a horrible human being, and he probably is, but at the same time it's like this dude is not a joke. He came with nothing and he made a fucking fortune. He did some legendary stuff out there. I didn't know that. That's incredible to see.
Went to work, closing the rift between the church in Rome and the Byzantine church, an act which lent legitimacy to Justin's reign, while at the same time pardoning and promoting the most talented men who the previous emperor had imprisoned or condemned, securing Justin loyalty within the palace. Next, Justinian had to secure Justin's new reign on a military front, so he also made peace with a popular general named Vitalian, who had rebelled against the religious policies of Justin's predecessor, and still had an army inside Byzantine borders. Unfortunately, Vitalian was a little too popular, and in an act which displays the ruthlessness that Justinian tried to avoid but certainly wasn't above, Justinian had Vitalian assassinated shortly after he returned to Byzantium. Because Justinian was a man who just did everything at once, it was also about this time that he met Theodora. Theodora was intelligent, witty, charming, and always the center of attention wherever she went. But she was also an actress, and as was common for actresses at this time, had worked as a prostitute and an escort. So how did this former escort meet the man who was second only to the emperor himself? Well, she...
Imagine marrying some whore. This is ridiculous, bro.
He was an ardent supporter of the blue faction of the Demes. What the heck is a Deme, you might reasonably ask? The Demes were the chariot racing teams in Constantinople, and this may sound crazy, but they are absolutely essential to understanding Byzantine history. They played an enormous role in the life of the average citizen of Constantinople. You can think of them as a sports club, a political organization, a community group, and a moving riot all rolled into one. By the time of Justinian, the chariot races were basically the sport in Constantinople. With the rise of Christianity, gladiatorial combat was functionally outlawed, so everyone, and I mean everyone, turned out for the chariot races. The Hippodrome, the arena for chariot races in Constantinople, could seat over 100,000 people. Just think about that. Even by today's standards, that would make it one of the biggest stadiums in the world. And think about what 100,000 people all in one place means for a city like Constantinople. If those folks all decide they want something, it's going to be very hard to turn them down. And the two teams, the Blues and the Greens, were not only sports clubs, but also organized political agitation. The average member of each of...
I've seen a lot of movies, that surround... that hippodrome or whatever with the horse races. There's this movie called Ben-Hur, and that movie was fucking amazing, dude. It's like, and that was the first time that I've seen the horses race. It's like, so that's a great sport, much better than the gladiatorial, the gladiator fucking combat shit where they kill each other and blood and mayhem and all that shit, much better than that. Like, seriously.
Of the Demes was basically a soccer hooligan, always ready for a good riot, which meant that the upper echelons of society would use the Demes to promote their political agendas. Thus, through
man.
the Demes...
Again, the politics interfering in the sports. And now everybody's fucking, up in their arms.
Sometimes the highest and lowest members of society would meet. And thus, Justinian met Theodora. Justinian was a fanatic.
And I get it, man. Some women are beautiful, but she sleeps around. How are you okay with that? I guess there was no boundary, and anybody could sleep with anybody, especially in the Greek lands. I guess I don't know, because that should be kind of like, that should worry you. You're you're gonna marry this woman that is, sleeping with your friend or whatever. It's crazy.
Supporter of the Blues.
Everybody has slept with her, and now you're gonna marry her, like
using his political clout to protect them from the law. The Blues served as a power base for him in the city, and in turn, he had the constabulary turn a blind eye when members of the Blues were involved in coercion or extortion or occasionally outright banditry. Through the blues, Justinian and Theodora met and instantly fell in love. And although they lived together, they couldn't marry because there was a law against government officials marrying actresses, a law which he would get his uncle to repeal as soon as he had the power to do so.
What the fuck? So you love her so much that you're gonna change the whole law and affect the whole society with your bullshit? Like, really?
Unfortunately for Justinian and Theodora, Justin's wife, much as she loved her nephew, wouldn't let him repeal this law. But shortly after her death, the law was wiped from the books.
Bro, her death? You telling me she died? Who did he kill her? What the did he assassinate her? What is going on?
And Justinian and Theodora became husband and wife. Justin followed his wife shortly thereafter, dying on the 1st of August, 527, leaving the empire.
Something is wrong. Did he kill them? I don't know. So some of these things that Justinian did, really suspicious and make him out to look like a terrible human being. So he might be a legend, but he's equally a terrible human being too. It's like, what is going on? I don't know what to say.
In the sole hands of Justinian. Join us next time as we watch Justinian burst into action. See him implement all those plans he'd been dreaming of for years as his uncle's subordinate. Meet the men Justinian employed to enact his grand project, and witness the true power of the Demes as 100,000 howling citizens nearly bring the reign of Justinian to an end.
Wow! 100,000 people brought his ruling to, like, his everything to end? Holy shit. I don't know why, though. I probably is... I hope he... I don't know what he did. Let's see. You know. Yeah, we're gonna find out, you know, one by one later. Alright. Dang. Okay, cool stuff. This is a playlist. I don't want to go into another video, but dang, son, what a great... what an insane character. I can't say great because he's great, you know, technically, but then he also, like, weird. He just kills his nephew or whatever. He's weird. He assassinates people, some guy somewhere. It's fucked up. But I admire the fact that he was a born legend. He was meant to rule. You know, I like the fact how he was like just an illiterate farmer, and slowly, little by little, he would just get into this amazing, you know, roles and just become this emperor or something. Like, wow, man. Bringing in his whole family and involving them into this, and, you know, giving them great position. He's like a great son. If I had a son like Justinian, I would be like, wow, man. But then I would also be like, why is he so he would just kill, assassinate, and do whatever the fuck he wanted, marry a whore or whatever. It's weird. You know, I wouldn't like that if I was his father, but, you know, I would be glad that a son that, you know, could become like such a great man like that. It's like, wow, man. But I would equally be dissatisfied with his, you know, behavior or whatever. So, yeah, what a great character Justinian is. Let's find out what Justinian and his whore wife or whatever, what they both do. Let's see what happens, okay? So part 1 of this Byzantine Empire, Justinian and Theodora, from swineherd to emperor. Yeah, swineherder, okay, to emperor. Holy shit. That, like, nowadays you cannot become a fucking legend anymore because you need qualifications. You need education. You need to do courses to get somewhere. Even though you know you can be good at many things, they won't let you because of fucking qualifications. So, you know, back then you illiterate farmer, you decided to fucking enlist in the war, and now you're in a great position. And soon you're gonna be a fucking emperor. Wow, what a great way to fucking earn your place, you know? But nowadays it's not like that. It's a fucking shitty whatever, okay? The society is all fucked up. But Byzantine Empire, Justinian, Theodora. What do you think about this reaction? Did you like my reaction? If you like my reaction, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. It's my main channel. This is where I upload like once a week, but I do upload like shitload of videos that one time, and you'll be covered for the rest of the week. Okay, so please don't be disappointed by that, and please don't be offended if I said anything about Justinian or whatever, and sorry for the other reaction based on the American presidents. I kind of went hard on that. I'll put that reaction at the end. Please don't be offended though. Please, I'm very critical of the Western society and the Americans. I'm very critical. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's for this reaction. Please subscribe to both my channels. Go check out my backup channel, the link in the description. There's a lot of Napoleon stuff over there and a lot of political stuff. Go check it out. Napoleon's Marshall series is also there. But I got a copyright strike over there, and ever since then I'm not reacting to anything, not reacting every day, but I do react once a week because people do watch me. So please subscribe to both my channels, show me support, and continue this series. And please be let's be peaceful. Okay, so yeah, that's the first reaction. Please subscribe to both my channels. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. On part 2, let's see what happens with Justinian and whore wife. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry. Goodbye. I'm sorry. Okay, goodbye. See you later.